What if I told you there's a European country with crystal clear beaches that rival Greece? Over 170,000 Cold War bunkers scattered across its landscape, a unique code of honor that once saved thousands of lives, and one of Europe's oldest cultures. Yet most travelers have never been there. Welcome to Albania, the continent's best-kept secret. In the next few minutes, you'll discover why this small Balkan nation is surprising the world. Introduction to Albania. Hidden between Greece, Montenegro, Kosovo, and North Macedonia, Albania is one of Europe's most surprising destinations. Covering just 28,748 square kilometers with a population of about 2.36 million people in 2025, this small Balkan nation has transformed from one of the world's most isolated countries into one of Europe's fastest-growing travel hotspots. At first glance, Albania may seem like an ordinary Mediterranean country. But beneath its rugged mountains and crystal-clear coastline lies a nation filled with fascinating contrasts. Ancient Illyrian roots, Ottoman architecture, Cold War bunkers, pristine beaches, and centuries-old traditions all exist side by side. Few places in Europe can offer such a unique combination of history, mystery, and natural beauty. One of Albania's biggest surprises is how long it remained hidden from international tourism. During the communist era under Enver Hoxha, the country was almost completely sealed off from the outside world for more than 4 decades. Today, however, Albania is rapidly becoming a favorite destination for travelers looking for authentic experiences without the high prices found elsewhere along the Mediterranean. In 2024, the country welcomed approximately 11.7 million international visitors, an extraordinary figure for a nation of its size. Geographically, Albania occupies a strategic position on the Balkan Peninsula, with coastlines along both the Adriatic Sea and the Ionian Sea. Across the water lies Italy, while Greece borders the south, making Albania a crossroads between Eastern and Western Europe for thousands of years. This location has shaped a national identity influenced by many civilizations while remaining distinctly Albanian. Today, Albania is an official candidate for membership in the European Union and continues to modernize its economy and infrastructure. Yet, despite these changes, it has managed to preserve a strong sense of national pride, rich cultural traditions, and an identity unlike anywhere else in Europe. The people of Albania. One of Albania's strongest impressions comes from its people. Albanians are often described by visitors as warm, expressive, proud of their heritage, and deeply connected to family. Hospitality is an important social value, and guests may quickly be welcomed with coffee, food, and long conversations, especially in smaller towns and rural communities. Albanian women are frequently praised in travel media for their elegance and distinctive Mediterranean and Balkan appearance. However, beauty is subjective, and Albania's population is far too diverse to fit one physical stereotype. People may have dark, brown, blonde, or reddish hair, along with a wide variety of skin tones and eye colors. This diversity reflects Albania's geographic position at a historic crossroads between the Mediterranean, the Balkans, and Southern Europe. Beyond appearance, women play a major role in modern Albanian society. They are active in education, business, healthcare, public service, and politics. World Bank data indicate that women held about 35.7% of seats in Albania's national parliament in 2024, while the female labor force participation rate was approximately 58.6%. Family remains central to everyday life. In traditional households, women were often expected to manage domestic responsibilities and care for children and older relatives. Today, these roles are changing, particularly among younger urban generations. many Albanian women now balance professional careers with strong family expectations. Although gender inequality has not disappeared, Albanian law recognizes equal rights in marriage, divorce, property ownership, employment, and guardianship. This combination of tradition, independence, hospitality, and rapid social change makes the people of Albania as fascinating as the country itself. Albania's famous bunker network. Few countries in the world have a landscape as unusual as Albania's. Scattered across beaches, mountains, farmland, villages, and even city neighborhoods are thousands of small concrete bunkers, silent reminders of one of the Cold War's most ambitious military projects. For many first-time visitors, discovering these dome-shaped structures is one of the country's biggest surprises. The bunker-building campaign began under communist leader Enver Hoxha, who ruled Albania from 1944 until his death in 1985. As Albania became increasingly isolated after breaking ties with both the Soviet Union and later China, Hoxha grew convinced that the country could be invaded at any moment. To prepare for this unlikely scenario, he launched a nationwide bunkerization program. Between the mid-1970s and the early 1980s, approximately 173,000 bunkers of various sizes had been completed, although the original plan envisioned even more. Remarkably, these structures were never used in combat for their intended purpose. The bunkers ranged from tiny one- or two-person shelters to massive underground command centers designed for military operations. They were strategically placed so that nearly every part of the country could, in theory, be defended. However, the enormous cost of construction placed a heavy burden on Albania's already struggling economy, diverting valuable resources from housing, infrastructure, and public services. Today, these once secret military fortifications have taken on entirely new roles. Some have been transformed into museums, cafes, art galleries, storage spaces, or even unique tourist accommodations, while others remain abandoned in fields and along the coastline. Rather than symbols of fear, many bunkers now serve as reminders of Albania's remarkable transformation, from one of Europe's most isolated nations to one of its fastest-growing tourist destinations. Unique culture and traditions. Despite its small size, Albania has one of the most distinctive cultures in the Balkans. Centuries of Illyrian, Roman, Byzantine, Ottoman, and European influences have shaped traditions that continue to surprise many visitors today. Some customs may seem unusual at first, but they reveal a society that values respect, hospitality, and strong community ties. One of the first things travelers notice is the confusing use of head gestures. In many parts of Albania, a slight upward nod or a quick tilt of the head can mean no, while a sideways movement or downward nod may sometimes indicate agreement, depending on the region and context. Although younger generations increasingly follow international body language, this cultural difference still catches many foreign visitors off guard and often leads to amusing misunderstandings. Another important tradition is the drinking of rakia, a strong fruit brandy that is deeply rooted in Albanian daily life. Usually distilled from grapes, plums, or mulberries, rakia is more than just an alcoholic drink. It symbolizes friendship, hospitality, and celebration. Whether welcoming guests into a home, attending a wedding, or gathering for a family meal, offering a small glass of rakia is considered a sign of respect and generosity. While modern lifestyles have changed drinking habits, rakia remains an important part of Albanian culture. Albania is also home to a rich collection of folk beliefs that have been passed down for generations. In many rural areas, stories about mountain spirits, protective charms, the evil eye, and good luck rituals continue to exist alongside the country's major religions. These traditions reflect centuries of cultural heritage rather than formal religious teachings, and many are preserved through folklore, music, and local festivals. Traditional customs are especially visible during weddings and national celebrations. Folk dances performed in colorful regional costumes, accompanied by instruments such as the chifteli and lahuta, remain an important expression of Albanian identity. Although Albania has modernized rapidly over the past 3 decades, many families continue to preserve these customs, allowing visitors to experience a fascinating blend of ancient traditions and contemporary European life. The Spirit of Besa. To understand Albania, one must understand Besa, a traditional code of honor often translated as keeping one's word. But Besa represents more than a promise. It means loyalty, personal responsibility, trust, and the moral duty to protect someone who has been placed under your care. Breaking that promise could bring shame not only to an individual, but also to the entire family. This principle helps explain Albania's famous hospitality. In traditional culture, a guest is treated with exceptional respect, even when the host has little to offer. Visitors may be welcomed with coffee, bread, a full meal, or a glass of rakia. Once someone enters a home as a guest, the host is expected to protect that person and place their safety above personal convenience. The most powerful example appeared during World War II. Under Italian and later German occupation, Albanian Muslim and Christian families hid Jewish residents and refugees, provided false documents, and moved them between safe homes. Yad Vashem reports that almost all Jews living within Albania's wartime borders survived, and that the country had more Jewish people at the end of the war than before it began. The United States Holocaust Memorial Museum notes that Besa required helping people in need regardless of their religion or nationality. For Albanians, honor was therefore not simply a matter of reputation. It was demonstrated through action, courage, and responsibility. Although modern society has changed, Besa remains one of the most respected symbols of Albanian identity. Language and national history. One of Albania's greatest distinctions is its language. Unlike most European languages, Albanian does not belong to the Romance, Slavic, or Germanic branches. Instead, it forms its own independent branch of the Indo-European language family, making it one of the most unique languages on the continent. Linguists believe it evolved from ancient Balkan languages, although its exact origins are still debated. Today, Albanian is spoken by around 7 to 8 million people worldwide, including large communities in Kosovo, North Macedonia, Montenegro, southern Italy, Greece, and the Albanian diaspora across Europe and North America. The Albanian people trace their roots to the ancient Illyrians, tribes that inhabited much of the Western Balkans more than 2,000 years ago. While historians continue to debate the exact relationship between modern Albanians and the Illyrians, many scholars agree that the Albanian language preserves elements of one of the oldest surviving populations in southeastern Europe. Throughout history, Albania endured Roman, Byzantine, Ottoman, and later communist rule, yet it managed to preserve its language, traditions, and national identity. The country's national flag is among the most recognizable in the world. It features a black, double-headed eagle on a bright red background. The eagle symbolizes strength, vigilance, and sovereignty, while its 2 heads are commonly interpreted as representing the balance between East and West, or the unity of the Albanian people. The emblem dates back to the 15th century and became closely associated with Albania's greatest national hero. That hero is Gjergj Kastrioti, better known as Skanderbeg. During the 15th century, he united Albanian principalities and led a long resistance against the expanding Ottoman Empire. For more than 25 years, Skanderbeg successfully defended Albanian territories despite facing a much larger military force. His leadership earned admiration throughout Europe, where he was regarded as one of the era's greatest military commanders. Today, statues of Skanderbeg stand in cities across Albania, and his legacy remains a powerful symbol of courage, independence, and national pride. Cost of living and quality of life. Albania is often promoted as one of Europe's most affordable destinations, but the reality is more complicated. For foreign visitors and remote workers, daily expenses may still feel low compared with Western Europe or the United States. For local residents, however, rising housing and food prices can place significant pressure on household budgets. Rent varies sharply by location. In central Tirana and popular coastal cities, a modern one-bedroom apartment may cost roughly $500 to $700 per month, while similar housing outside the center or in smaller towns can be considerably cheaper. Tourist destinations such as Sarande may become much more expensive during the summer season. Nationwide cost of living estimates place average rent at around $620 per month, although actual prices depend heavily on the city, neighborhood, and time of year. Food remains relatively affordable by broader European standards. A simple local meal may cost around $6 to $12, while monthly groceries for one person are often estimated near $250, depending on lifestyle. Fresh vegetables, bread, dairy products, and seasonal fruit are commonly available at local markets, while imported products usually cost more. The biggest contrast is income. Albania's average gross monthly wage reached approximately 90,119 lek in the first quarter of 2026, or roughly $1,050 before taxes, while estimated take-home pay is notably lower. This means Albania can feel inexpensive to outsiders earning foreign salaries, but less affordable to people living on local wages. In terms of safety, violent crime targeting tourists is considered uncommon, and many visitors feel comfortable walking through city centers. However, official travel advisories recommend increased caution because of petty theft, limited emergency services in remote areas, traffic risks, and occasional organized crime-related violence. Basic awareness, secure valuables, and careful driving are usually the most important precautions. Nature and tourism. Although Albania remained largely overlooked for decades, it is now emerging as one of Europe's fastest-growing travel destinations. The country's greatest advantage is its remarkable natural diversity. Within just a few hours of driving, visitors can travel from turquoise Mediterranean beaches to snow-capped mountain peaks, passing through ancient towns, rivers, forests, and national parks along the way. The Albanian coastline stretches for approximately 476 kilometers along the Adriatic Sea and the Ionian Sea. The southern stretch, known as the Albanian Riviera, has become especially popular for its crystal-clear waters, dramatic cliffs, and picturesque beaches such as Kasamil, Dermi, Himare, and Borsh. Unlike many famous Mediterranean resorts, many of these destinations remain less crowded outside the peak summer season, attracting travelers looking for beautiful scenery at more affordable prices. In the north, the Albanian Alps, also called the Accursed Mountains, offer a completely different landscape. This rugged mountain range features deep valleys, alpine lakes, waterfalls, and traditional stone villages that have changed little over the centuries. Hiking routes such as Theth to Valbona are widely considered among the most spectacular trekking trails in the Balkans, drawing outdoor enthusiasts from around the world each year. Albania is also home to 4 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. These include the ancient city of Butrint, the historic centers of Berat and Gjirokastër, renowned for their well-preserved Ottoman architecture, and the ancient and primeval beech forests of the Carpathians and other regions of Europe, which includes protected forests in Albania. These sites showcase the country's rich cultural and natural heritage spanning thousands of years. Nature lovers will also find an impressive network of protected areas. Albania has 12 national parks, including Theth National Park, Logara National Park, Divjaka Karavasta National Park, and Prespa National Park. Together, they protect rare wildlife such as the Balkan lynx, golden eagles, brown bears, and hundreds of bird species. As Albania continues investing in tourism infrastructure while preserving its natural landscapes, many experts believe it is becoming one of Europe's last truly undiscovered outdoor destinations. The Enver Hoxha Era. Few periods have shaped modern Albania more profoundly than the rule of Enver Hoxha, who led the country from 1944 until his death in 1985. During his 4 decades in power, Albania became one of the most isolated nations in the world. The communist government tightly controlled politics, the economy, education, the media, and nearly every aspect of daily life. Foreign travel was heavily restricted. Private enterprise was abolished, and contact with the outside world was kept to a minimum. One of the most extraordinary policies came in 1967, when Albania officially declared itself the world's first atheist state. The government closed or confiscated thousands of religious buildings, including mosques, churches, monasteries, and monasteries belonging to different faiths. Public religious practice was prohibited, and many clergy members were imprisoned or persecuted. The state promoted atheism as official policy, and religious education virtually disappeared for more than 2 decades. To maintain strict political control, the government relied heavily on the Sigurimi, Albania's secret police and intelligence service. Established in 1944, the Sigurimi became one of the most powerful institutions in the country. It was responsible for monitoring political opposition, investigating suspected dissent, and protecting the communist regime. Historians estimate that the organization developed an extensive network of informants, creating an atmosphere in which many citizens feared that conversations, even among neighbors or colleagues, could be reported to the authorities. This system of surveillance had a lasting psychological impact on Albanian society. Freedom of expression was severely limited. Independent media did not exist, and criticism of the government could result in imprisonment or other serious consequences. After the fall of communism in 1991, Albania restored freedom of religion, introduced democratic institutions, and opened its borders to the world. Today, museums such as Bunk Art and the House of Leaves Museum preserve documents, artifacts, and personal stories from that era, helping younger generations understand one of the most isolated chapters in modern European history, while remembering the importance of civil liberties and democratic values. The Tradition of Burrnesha. Among Albania's most unusual cultural traditions is the Burrnesha, often translated as the Sworn Virgins of the Balkans. This centuries-old custom, found mainly in the remote mountain regions of northern Albania and neighboring areas, allowed a woman to take a lifelong oath of celibacy and legally and socially assume the role traditionally reserved for a man. While this practice has become extremely rare today, it remains one of the most fascinating aspects of Albanian cultural history. The tradition developed under the Kanun, a centuries-old customary legal code traditionally attributed to Legadukagjini. The Kanun governed many aspects of daily life, including family structure, property rights, hospitality, and honor. In its traditional form, inheritance and family leadership were generally passed through the male line. If a household had no adult male heir, or if extraordinary circumstances arose, a woman could choose to become a Burrnesha. After taking the oath, she was recognized by the community as the head of the family, and could perform many responsibilities that had traditionally been reserved for men. A Burrnesha often adopted men's clothing, used a masculine social identity, carried weapons when customary, managed family property, represented the household in public affairs, and made important family decisions. This role was not viewed as entertainment or a performance, but rather as a respected social institution that helped families survive under difficult circumstances. The decision was voluntary, but the oath of lifelong celibacy was expected to be permanent. Today, the tradition is rapidly disappearing. As Albania has modernized, legal equality has expanded, educational opportunities have increased, and women now enjoy rights that were unavailable under the traditional kanun system. Most young Albanians no longer see a practical need for the Burrnesha tradition, and only a small number of sworn virgins are believed to remain, most of them elderly and living in remote mountain communities. Although the custom is fading, it continues to attract the interest of historians and anthropologists because it offers a rare glimpse into how Albanian society adapted to the challenges of its past while preserving its deeply rooted code of honor and family responsibility. Albania is a country full of surprises, where ancient traditions, breathtaking landscapes, and remarkable history come together to create a truly unique destination. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Let us know in the comments which fact about Albania surprised you the most, and we'll see you in the next adventure.